Jai Hind, my dear friends. Today I will speak about TAT. TAT stands for Thematic Apperception Test. This is the very first test of your personality or psychological test. Candidates, this TAT is the most important part of your entire psychological test. The total duration for the psychological test is close to 2 hours 30 minutes, where 1 hour is utilized for this TAT. When we talk about TAT, TAT means thematic, the theme. A perception means individual perception affected by the surroundings or the environment. So, TAT, thematic perception test, means it has got three things: your individual perception plus the surrounding environment plus the theme. So, when all these three things are there in a TAT, then we write our story. In this TAT, total we are supposed to write down 12 stories, one after another, without any break. And candidates are shown 11 pictures, each for 30 seconds. Then they get additional 4 minutes to write down the story. And the test is made in such a manner that the last slide, the last means the 12th slide, is supposed to be the blank slide. In this blank slide, candidate is required to imagine a picture of his own choice and write down the story. Gentlemen, remember, in the story, we are required to write down what led to the situation, what is happening, and what will be the outcome, without bothering about the beauty of expression. So, like this, we write total 11 stories. And the 12th is the blank slide. In the blank slide, candidate has been given an opportunity to think any picture of his own choice and write down the story around that imagined picture. Now, remember the briefing of the psychologist given in the beginning, in the start of the test. The briefing goes like this: candidates, this is a test of your imagination. In this test, number of pictures will be shown to you one after another. Each picture will be shown to you for 30 seconds depicting certain characters and situation in the picture. After seeing the picture, you are required to write down story around the characters and scene shown in the picture. What led to the situation, what is happening, and what will be the outcome, without bothering about the beauty of expression. So, when we are writing the 12th story, that is the story on the blank slide, what candidates are doing, considering there will not be any a picture shown for the blank slide, so they come out with the preconceived ideas. They have already thought of some picture and they are writing down the same pre-imagined picture, which should not be the condition. Because, as the test says in the very beginning, this is a test of your imagination. And if you are writing a story in the blank slide with the preconceived ideas, it simply means you have not done any imagination and you have failed in imagination part. So your test is not considered completely. We think that candidate is not able to imagine and he has come out with the imagined story, preconceived ideas, and he does not have adequate level of imagination. So he has written whatever he learned at home. So remember, whenever we are writing a story for the 12th picture, that is the blank slide, you have to imagine picture and story at that very point of time and write down that picture. This blunder is committed by almost 90 to 95% of candidates. So you have to be very careful when you are writing down a story for the 12th image, a blank picture. And in TAT, whenever we are writing the story, it's not simply a story writing test, because anybody can cook up a story. 10 years old young boy and even 6 or 7 years old young child, they are able to cook up a story. But the story which a potential military officer is expected to write, it has to have some logical beginning and logical conclusion. The content which you write in the story, it should be achievable, practicable, logical, and have some level of genuinity. So whenever you are writing down the story for TAT, remember you have to have a hero. You must give some name to that hero and look at the picture for full 30 seconds. And when you are looking at the picture, there is a way of looking at the picture. First, you must look from left to the right, from left to the right, till the time you come at the bottom right, and then you must have a relook of the picture from top to bottom of the entire scene, starting from the left hand side till the right hand side. If you have look of the picture like this, then you won't be missing out any part in that picture. Many times it happens when the candidates are writing a story, they have missed out certain character or a certain part of that picture. So it means they are not very careful, their observing power is not up to the mark, and they are in kind of a hurry that they just want to see the picture and want to make up some story. But that is not the idea. The idea is to set some good target, and how you have achieved that target, it should be mentioned in the story in step by step, logical, and in a sequence manner. So be careful when writing down TAT story. And again, I repeat myself, the 12th story on the blank slide, it has to be your own story. And you have to imagine that story then and there. Don't go with some preconceived ideas, the story which you have already thought of, the story which you have already done practice, and thinking that now 11 pictures are gone and TAT is over, 12th picture will be the blank slide. So I will write down this kind of a story. It's a blunder. Why? Because the story which you are writing down, which you are required to write down for the 12th slide, that has to be, coming from the some part of the previous 11 pictures has to be there in the 12th story. It just should not happen. Previous 11 pictures are talking of something, and 12th story which you have written is 180 degree out. It has to have some content, some part, and some matching with the previous 11 pictures. And when we are appearing and sitting in the test, we are not aware what all pictures will be shown to us. So how we can prepare in advance for the 12th blank slide? It has to be thought of, it has to be imagined only at that particular time when you are appearing in the test. So don't do this mistake. When the 12th blank slide is shown to you, imagine a picture then and there and write down the story, whatever you can think of. So with this, I wish you all the best. So next time when you go for SSB and sit in the psychological test, do not commit this mistake again. And for the 12th blank slide story, write down your own story. And one more mistake candidates do. They compare their story with other person. Remember, every candidate is unique. Every individual has got unique personality. Not two people are not same. So their responses also will not be same. And if you try to write down, listen to other person what he has written, and if you write down his story, again it means you are lacking imagination. And that's not the purpose. Because the first line of the briefing says, this is a test of your imagination. So you have to use your imagination, and when you are using your imagination, it has to have logical beginning and logical ending. Thank you. Jai Hind.